The U.S. Supreme Court will consider the constitutionality of Tennessee's law banning certain medical care for transgender kids. This sets up a big showdown for the next Supreme Court session over these controversial treatments. The court's decision will affect a wave of states with similar bans. Jonathan Skrmetti, Tennessee's Attorney General, joins us now. Mr. Attorney General, thank you for being here. Good morning. Tell us about this and how important this moment is for the Supreme Court taking up the constitutionality of your law.
So this is the first time that the Supreme Court has looked at what the Constitution says about gender identity issues. It looked at a statutory issue in the Bostock case, but this could be a really broad ruling. The court may take a narrow approach, but a lot of states have these laws. The lower courts have been all over the place. There's a lot of confusion, and so this is going to bring some clarity, and we think we have some strong arguments to bring to the court to defend our law.
Well, you mentioned the states. There are actually, as you look at the map, 22 different states that currently have bans on trans surgery for minors. You mentioned the specifics of your law. Tell us about it and why it's on the books.
Sure. So there has been so much change in the last few years. Suddenly, radical interventions are more and more common. Gender dysphoria, which used to be extremely rare, has been diagnosed more and more and more. There are a lot of concerns about that. In Europe, you see countries that had been whole hog going for gender-affirming approaches to care, pulling back and saying, kids can't make these decisions. These are irreversible treatments. And that's what drove Tennessee's law, a concern that kids were making decisions that have lifelong consequences without fully understanding what they were doing. So the law is there to protect kids from the consequences of these profound decisions. You know, if we don't let a kid get a tattoo because it's too permanent, the legislature here said, why let them make decisions that could keep them from ever having children?
Other side pushing back about the rights of these kids. And the question is, the Supreme Court will take it up, and it may be really a precedent setting for a lot of things, not just this particular case.
Depending on how the court rules, I mean, there could be a really big impact on all sorts of cases related to gender identity. You know, we're seeing litigation in many different areas arising from a clash between how the law traditionally applied and what people are trying to do with it now.
Tennessee's Attorney General Skrmetti. Mr. Attorney General, thanks for the time. Thank you. Dana.